You never finish what you start because you're in a phase of something called the loser effect. The loser effect is when you begin to feel even the slightest amount of pain, you give up without ever fully trying. And the pain that you feel usually isn't even physical, it's mental. And the most common mental pain that you probably experience is boredom. And like, why do you think the work that you do is so boring or it feels so hard to do? And you might not even be interested in anything except for social media, video games, junk food specifically. It's because your mind is overstimulated, and an overstimulated mind is a weak mind. So, what I'm going to give you is two pieces of advice that I believe will genuinely help you to cure your overstimulated mind. So, the first piece of advice is to slow down. Now, you go about your day the same way you go about eating your meals. How fast are you eating? Do you take a second to breathe, to slow down, to savor the flavor? Or are you that disgusting guy who's mindlessly eating as fast as he can and he's not even realizing it because everything just tastes so good? You eat with your eyes more than you eat with your stomach. And it's the same thing that applies to how you go about your day. You consume with your mind more than you produce with your actions. You never feel satisfied from just one YouTube video or from one cookie or from one anything. When you're in a cycle of overstimulation, right? An overstimulated mind is a weak mind. And because you're so weak, not you, it's because your mind is weak, you fail to have the control to stop yourself from continuously indulging in pleasure. So you need to give your brain time to recover, time to process things as you go about your day. It's kind of like the guy who goes to the gym, right? You need time to rest, or else your muscles will, you risk getting injured. Or take the opposite, for example, not even just recovering, but if you overlift, then that equals muscle fatigue. If you overeat, then that's energy fatigue. And if you're overstimulated, that's mental fatigue. So if you overlift in the gym, or if you overeat whenever you're having a meal, the result is low physical energy. And so if you're overstimulated, the result is low mental energy. And so if you're in a constant state of low mental energy, it's no wonder that the work you're doing, no matter what it is going to be boring. It's going to feel hard because you're in a constant state of low mental energy. So you need to chill out with how much you're consuming as you go about your day. You need to slow down. The second piece of advice is to redefine the way you see work. Most people associate work with negative feelings, right? Boredom or uncomfort, pain, fear, whatever it is. But funny enough, most people see work as boring and they associate it with negative feelings. And it seems hard to do because they have an overstimulated mind. And the average person, I don't want to say the average person, I want to say, because that makes me sound arrogant. So, the most people with average beliefs, right, who probably work a 9 to 5, think about work negatively. Their work is unfulfilling. And it makes sense because they're in a 9 to 5, right? They subconsciously know that they'll be stuck in a 9 to 5 till they retire, till like they're 65 or whatever. They subconsciously know that the work they're doing is purely for money, an external achievement, an external result. They subconsciously know that the work they're doing adds zero value to their lives. And it's the same with how you go about your day or whatever work you're trying to do. You struggle with finishing it because the work probably doesn't add any value to your life in any way. And you're just doing it probably because you were told to, or by your parents, or by society. Isn't it more powerful to tie your work to your purpose? to not look forward to a specific result, but to look forward to the type of person that you'd become, to not focus on what you can have, but who you become. And you see your work, it's so much more powerful to see your work as a bridge to help you reach your ultimate goal, which is pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for example, when I started calisthenics 2 years ago, it's not that I didn't try to get consistent before. The one thing that I can recall that helped me be consistent was I didn't have the mindset like most of these people have. Like, no offense, I'm not trying to boast either, astaghfirullah, but the mindset I had was calisthenics can help me become more confident. Right? Confidence was a result that I desperately wanted because for a very, very long time I was insecure and shy and had very low self-esteem. So I seen calisthenics as the bridge that will help me to reach confidence. If that makes sense. So what I mean, I didn't have the same mindset as most guys. Is everybody just wants to get big? I don't know why. Perhaps it's societal influence, like that heavily plays into it. I'm sure, but that wasn't my mindset at all. Let's take getting big for example. That's an external result. That's an external result. Like, why do you want to get big? Why do you want to get big? So, for example, for me, I didn't have that mindset. I knew that I wanted to be confident. It wasn't an external thing. It was a very internal. It was a very strong internal motivation that helped me to stay consistent, especially on the days I didn't feel like it, right? Because it wasn't about just wanting to get bigger, right? It's not even a powerful motivator, in my opinion. For me, it was about when I show up to working out, when I show up to do calisthenics, it's a reflection of how bad I want to be confident. And when I don't show up, that's a reflection of how much I don't want confident. Mess that up. It's a reflection of how much I don't want confidence. You probably struggle to finish your work because you're doing it for an external result. So if it's a job, you're probably doing it for money. If it's school, you're probably doing it for grades. But when it comes to business and entrepreneurship, you don't just focus on the work. That might even be boring, right? It doesn't matter what the work is. Your mind should instantly think, this is the work that has the potential to change my life, inshallah. Like, this is the work that's gonna help me become free. You don't think about the work itself, you think about what the work can do for you, the benefit you get from it. Right? If you learned a little bit of marketing or sales, you never sell the features of the product. You sell the benefit. Right? It's what the product could do for you. So what could the work do for you? What's the benefits that you'll get out of it? Not what it can do, not the actual features of the work and how boring it is, but what it can do for you. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's super important. So the stronger your why for doing something, the easier the how. If the work you're doing is boring and hard, but you still need to do it anyway, then probably take the advice of step one, which is to slow down, give your time brain to process things, to recover, right? And if your work is unfulfilling, as opposed to being just boring, if it's unfulfilling, then that's probably an internal signal you're working on the wrong thing. When you do work that gives you meaning, laziness is no longer a barrier. That's it. That's all I have for today. Inshallah, till the next one. Assalamu alaikum.